My presentation is going to be on Kugadi. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Adeola. This is just a quick agenda of what I'm going to be talking about. So I'm going to go through a quick brief, my design thinking process, and to conclusions where I talk about my success metrics and next steps. So Kugadi is a company that provides a software management platform. It allows businesses to track their employees in real time. Basically, what they do is they automate the human activities, they digitize it, and then they create data analytics so companies can see where they need to improve, and most importantly, monitor their employees and make sure they're actually on task. My goal for the project today is going to be to create an efficient and easy way for new customers to create client accounts. And what I mean by client accounts, actually, Kugadi, their primary customers are in the security industry and maintenance, and they just recently branched into healthcare. So when I say customers, I mean I'll be focusing on the security industry and those people, the buildings they offer their services to basically are the clients. We did a couple of stakeholder interviews with Satcher, with the stakeholder, and he was able to give us insights from the stakeholders' point of view and their users' point of view, because we didn't really have access to the actual users due to the time constraint, but he gave a lot of insightful information. First things first, only 10% of their new users have been able to complete the client account setup without further assistance. So when you purchase their app, they send you an email, the login, and instructions on how to sign into their app and actually create a client account. But because the dashboard has no precise navigation and their client account, so setting up a client account actually is a three-step process, and that's not obvious when you sign into their actual app. It takes, a lot of customers get confused, and it usually takes about 20 to 35 minutes on the phone with their customer service, walking the new user through how to create a client account. And I did further secondary research because I just wanted to know what the actual users were saying about the product. And some of the things I found were a lot of their users actually switched from Tractic, saying that it was actually easier to use, which is interesting. It was easier to manage by their officers, but this is for their mobile web. I think their mobile web is better than their, their phone, their mobile web is better than their desktop dashboard, which is what I'll be focusing on today. And another user said they have comprehensive price structure and they have no extra cost. And of course, they have great solutions for time and attendance. So overall, they have happy customers. So the gains, like I talked about earlier, they automate human activity, lower overall business costs because you're more efficient and you're spending less money on hiring supervisors because all those tasks you can monitor digitally. The main pains are the confusing navigation on the dashboard. It involves a multi-step client account creation, which is not obvious, and the dashboard main objective is unclear, and of course it also has confusing terminology. So just to figure out what features they have, and I did a competitor analysis just to really know where Kugadi is in the market, and right now they're doing pretty good in the market. The only thing that really stands out is the updated dashboard on their mobile site. With that being said, they have competitive pricing. They're easier to use than most of their competitors. If they can just move to a more innovative dashboard on their web, I think they would push them further out than their competitors, and they'll be in that blue ocean. So I'm going to go into the define stage. And using all that data I got from the stakeholder and the secondary research, I used the value proposition canvas to really figure out the user's mental model, because I wanted to know what jobs they needed to do, the main pain points, and what game creators I could or solutions I can find for those pain points. I really wanted to make sure that whatever, during my ideation process, the features I come up with are actually meeting customer needs and their values. So that being said, I created a user persona. And the user persona is basically an archetype of the user who's going to be using their dashboard. And he's James. He's a retired police officer, so which means he's been working with antiquated software for quite a while, so he's not as techy as other people might be, and he's a new customer to Kugadi, and he's just extremely excited about using their software and started. He wants to reduce the amount of time he spends managing employees and focus on operational security, operational efficiency. So this is his journey map using their dashboard. And as you can see, he's happy to purchase the software because he's heard good reviews about it. He gets the welcome email, but everything goes downhill from there, which is actually a quote from the stakeholder. A lot of their users actually have problems after they log in. And as you can see, he's confused. He doesn't know how to navigate the dashboard. He watched the YouTube tutorial and he still doesn't really understand. And then he has to call customer service and figure it out from there. So the highlighted area are the main pain points, and I was able to create opportunities to solve those pain points. To further understand what I was talking about the dashboard, I did a heuristic analysis, and as you can see, the value proposition for the main page is not obvious. The charts don't really say anything, but obviously if you're a new user, they're empty states. But even for an existing user, they don't really say much. They're not telling me anything. And the menu you see to the left side of the screen actually isn't visible until you click on the hamburger menu, which is to the right. And if you're someone like James, who isn't familiar with a hamburger menu, when you get into the site, you're like, okay, where do I go from here? You're confused. So that's part of it. They don't have a search feature. There are limited user controls. And as you can see, there's so many sections to go through just on the menu screen. And through that, it's a three-step process. You don't know where to start. Do you start with the count, or the users, or the property? So I did ideation, used the how might we meta to finally hone down what my feature was going to be. And I stuck to how might we help our customers create a client account quickly and efficiently. I use the Moscow chart to prioritize. And my MVPs, we believe that by creating this setup assistant for our users, client account setups, for our users, client account setups will be easier and less confusing. We will know we are right by reduced client account support calls from our users. So prototype, my lo-fis. For the most part, I good fi-fis. Okay. Okay. So this is the welcome page. Click on next. And I really wanted to highlight those three steps. So you create the client account, add a property, assign users, click in. And I wanted to work within the existing dashboard and make it obvious. This is where you need to click. It's step 1 of 3, create a client account. It walks you through the process. Ideally, if I had my micro interactions, there will be hotspots here telling you once this is active, you can click on it. It gives you a quick tooltip to let you know that once this is active, and if you wanted to go back, say if you're an add property, you can go back to add client to edit. So I'm skipping all the form fields, and you're in add property step 2. You've done all that. You have all these checks and progresses telling you where you are. If you wanted to save and exit, you can save and exit because there's a lot of forms to fill. And when you come back, it tells you that you have 5% left, complete. You go to the last stage, which is the assign users. Click on assign users, and you're done. Once you're done, if you ever want to go back to the tutorial, I created a new setup assistant at the bottom of the menu where you can click that and walks you through. Success metrics, less onboarding assistant calls, increase customer referrals, decrease the account setup times, and it'll be the opposite for failure matrix. Next steps, create my micro interactions. I'd like to create tooltips for the rest of the dashboard because it's a lot, and test with actual users. Thank you.